What is new? Seriously though. When we think of new, we often think of something revolutionary. Not, for example, the latest Huawei phone. We think of computers, telephones, motion pictures, things that had never been done before. Does new have to be that big? What makes something new? By definition, new is something that either hasn't existed before or has been in existence, but we've only seen, experienced, or acquired it for the first time recently. A detail which is, ironically, new to me. With that in mind though, we must be doing new things all the time. Whenever we eat a different brand of bread, whenever we start a hobby, or even read a book. So long as we haven't had that specific thing before, it's new. Which ties in closely with learning. You can't physically have something new without learning being involved. Which makes sense because you can't really get better without learning. Much like how you can't get innovation without change. And it's that same commitment to bettering that we love to see in what we do. We love a positive change in the workplace. I mean, just take a look at women in the workforce. We didn't even really enter the workforce until the late 19th century. Now look at where we are today. We can do purposeful work that betters our society, and we face less limitations each day. We've automated some of the roles that we used to have. We're even starting to become more productive as we take into account how we work best. A lot of new things have happened. One of the more recent ones being how we view bad business practice. Something that's never been acceptable, but something that we've turned a blind eye to in the past. Something we've ignored or dismissed. Something that we now pay very close attention to. Society has come to a point where we've acknowledged that we've come a long way, and that bad business practices should be changing, should have changed, especially when we know of ways to get the results that we desire without having to do something bad or unethical. And granted, we can see our concern and our awareness as early as 1960, but we've only had that increased push for accountability and transparency since post-2000s, and specifically within the last decade. Which is great, because we should already be there. We shouldn't have bad business practices still going on today. We should be circumventing those for the better practices that are available to us. And we should be finding ways to incentivize these, to encourage better practices worldwide. Our quality of life should not be in the hands of a few small businesses. It should be something taken on by everyone. We can all do our part to make business practice better. The simple act of talking has its own effect. And isn't this kind of change what we want? Shouldn't we be striving for better? And businesses often capitalize on this kind of thing. So it doesn't make sense to stagnate. In fact, it makes more sense to adopt it early, especially since it only benefits everyone. I mean, anyone can see how the GDP increases when we improve quality of life. If life is better, then we perform better. And that makes complete sense, right? Of course we'll do better if our wants as well as our needs are met. We gain the ability and the drive to achieve what we want to do, what we set out to do. And yes, I'm aware this ideology isn't new. And yes, I'm aware this isn't new. But we haven't had anyone fully implement it yet. That would be new. And it's something that I'd love to see businesses do. I'd love to see something new. If this is something you're interested in seeing, DM me on Insta.